What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions' coolest campaigns and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games or later on your favorite podcast service, B. Dave Walters and Erin M. talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. I thought I was going to run out of air on that one. If you're
No, you made it. You made it. You gotta get that lung volume. Got that lung volume.
Yeah. If you're here with us live in the chat, you can leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. But until then, Erin, B. Dave.
Hi, I'm Erin M. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, a 6-book series set in the Forgotten Realms, featuring 3 of your favorite Idle Champions, Frida Havilar and Mehen. I'm also a content designer for Idle Champions, and I play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers and Farida on Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. And dear friends, let me just say, if you find that you're having a bit of a hard time right now, having a little difficult finding your mojo, maybe a little emotionally out of sorts, I'm here to tell you it's happening to literally everyone. And it is kind of an unprecedented time that 8 billion people are stressed out simultaneously and also can talk about it on the internet. So nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. As long as you're upright, moving forward. That's it. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. And what better topic to talk about than some demons? Let's lift you up with some demons.
some unrepentant assholes. Yeah, that's right.
Like, however bad things are right now, it is the case that Orcus, the Lord of Undeath, is not walking amongst us.
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
I got him twice back here right now, but you know.
Yeah, right. I'm like, are you sure?
You're here.
True, yeah.
You know, here in spirit and here in physical presence are 2 different things, and I am going to split that hair because it is a hard day.
That's fair.
So.
It is.
Yeah. Full agree.
Now, one thing that right when we were going up with dear friends, those of you that have worked with me before, you'll find a lot of times Pete will be sitting in the green room, and I deal with a lot of fascinating people, and we'll be talking and they'll start saying something fascinating and I'm like, no, stop. That's content. Save it for when we go live. So Erin was being brilliant because that's what Erin does. And you were making a point about the
talking.
demons versus the devils.
Yes. So when I was writing Brimstone Angels, I had a friend who was kind of surprised that I picked up Archdevils versus Demon Lords because he really likes Demon Lords, but I am of the opinion that Demon Lords are boring. I don't think they're interesting in a narrative sense, because the difference is sort of like devils are playing a long game. They are manipulative in a way that is trying to sort of build a structure. In my opinion, obviously you can run things different at your table, but I feel very strongly about this. That we're going to split lawful evil and chaotic evil, and that's going to be important. Then this is how Archdevils ought to operate. Whereas demons are chaotic evil. The example that I made ages ago that I still really love is that if humans are the sheep, then the devils are the shepherds and the demons are the wolves. The wolves want to come in, they want to tear apart the sheep. The shepherds want to protect the sheep.
Yeah.
So they can steal their wool and eventually have mutton stew.
And also eat the sheep. Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not actually better for the sheep, except it takes longer. But that sort of like tear through everything, that break things down, that sort of entropy and chaos is an important part of demons. But it also means that a demon that plays the long game is likely to be sort of actually playing a lot of little short games or kind of veering around, which lets you put a lot of chaos in their plans. But it also means that things happen like when you say, no, there is a long game, like Orcus sieging the Raven Queen, people get on the internet and go, that makes no sense. It must be because he's in love with her. So
yeah. I do.
That's my demon trash talk.
No, I think that is a really good way to look at it because essentially, you know, devils are, like you say, they're playing the long game. Like storytelling wise, they're doing the narrative.
Yeah. They don't want to destroy the plane. They just want to make the plane work for them.
I feel like demons are like
girl, same.
I feel like all the times that someone's been like, why don't they just kill them as soon as they come in? Like they're like, no, that's a demon. Like a demon would do that. The devil's there because they want to mess with them.
I think I had a line in Brimstone Angels where like let the demons drag you screaming into the abyss, we know if we open the right doors, you will walk in yourselves. And that's the difference. Orcus wants to drag you screaming into the abyss. He doesn't want to deal with sitting down and trying to figure out what is the best way to coax you into a lifetime of servitude as one of his undead minions. Just gonna make it happen.
Just think she tastes like chicken. Yeah.
When you said the Orcas wants to drag you into the abyss, all I saw was the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Shining parody where all the ghosts come in and drag Homer out. Okay, well, I before we get into the lore of it, I feel like we would be doing our fans a disservice if we didn't talk about the fact that we've brought up Orcus a lot on this show.
Yeah.
Heck, before we went live, my wife was like,
to dunk on him.
My wife was like, you guys have talked about Orcus a lot. I'm like, we've talked about him a lot on the show, but we haven't actually talked about him on the show.
It's come up with Orcus with the boombox. That's trying to woo the way. So let me give you the ultra quick TLDR on the boombox thing. Is so Orcus, not unlike Tiamat, is a character who is trying to take over and is kind of won on occasion, but the game doesn't really work if you're like, so the ultimate evil succeeded, so he basically gets really close, outright wins sometimes, but then loses because reasons, the reasons supposedly being your adventuring party. So the thing he's been up to lately is actively trying to attack the Shadowfell, which is the Raven Queen's domain. So because he wants to have total dominion over life and death, which is why he wants to take the Shadowfell. I don't even know how we started at this originally, but it basically, we were like, maybe he's not attacking the Shadowfell because he wants to run everything. Maybe he's secretly in love with the Raven Queen. And that was the Say Anything boombox. If he's just out there with his undead hordes fighting the Shadarkai,
Like,
within your eyes playing. Yeah.
I have a powerful army. Isn't that hot?
I think we also pitched a rom-com between Raven Queen and Orcus. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yep. I mean, again, it's not that though. I'm just saying.
You make your own canon at your table. So
it's true.
We've said it enough times that it's getting there. So I keep asking V to make a tiny boombox for the Orcus figure back there.
V, I know she wants to. She's very busy. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about the what is in the canon for audio listeners. I'm doing the bunny ears there. Canon for Orcus, but we may sneak a few things in there along the way. So yeah, I pulled up the wiki page about Orcus because I realized that I haven't really read about him before, and that became plainly obvious within the first sentence, which was he was a mortal at one. He was a mortal at one time. I didn't know that. I just thought he was I'm just always a big nasty demon boy. Do we know much about him while he was immortal?
Can I, before you say this, I just want to share one of my favorite quotes. I will be the last creature when I am done. The cosmos will then be perfect, free of the braying abominations that are all other living things. I mean, come on. Come on.
I feel like what he's saying there is he wants to be the last person in the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
I made the mistake of not bringing my Fiendish Codex out with me. Which, shame on me. But this morning's been a week. Anyway, so the backstory of Orcus as human who becomes a demon lord is intentionally very vague. I think that he's some sort of evil spellcaster, maybe evil priest, that he's not nailed down as this is who he used to be. I suspect, although it is not, again, I don't have all my books, so I might be wrong about this. I suspect that was not always the case. I suspect originally he was just there and he was the demon lord and bleh, and that this came in later to kind of give him a little more depth.
Okay.
But that said, it is canonically in a book. So it is lore. It is available. The time scales in this game often make me go like, okay, what? But that's okay. It's not the first time. So he's a demon lord now. He's the lord of the demon prince of undeath. He rules over Thanatos, I believe is the name of his lair.
Thanatos.
Which is funny because I'm currently playing a character named Thanato, and I was like, Thanatos. That is the different place. I will just say real quick that looking at the various depictions, because Orcas has been here since first edition, the third edition art is the most confusing to me. Like if you saw me like staring, it's because I had to like zoom in on it. I was like, a lot's happening in that picture. This kid's very heavy metal. Like, I mean, he's kind of wearing the like
this
goth
looks like
BDSM
a Slayer
bikini.
album.
Yeah, it does look as though, right.
Is this the one where he's sitting in the throne?
No, he's like sitting on a bunch of people.
He's sitting on a bunch of people, but then he's got like extra teeth. Like, I'm not sure what's happening with his face there.
Oh, that looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I do like the fifth edition, but it's rare for me to say this because I'm terribly partial to the third edition style.
Yeah.
I actually like the fifth edition art the most because it's the most like the third edition style.
Yes. Yeah.
You know?
But the teeth are sort of more they occlude.
Yeah.
The other ones, I think Orcas probably in third edition had a pretty pronounced lisp.
I gotta be honest, the jumps between second and first edition artwork are jarring.
Well, but I mean that is it for all of the first edition art.
For the viewers, audio listeners, I apologize. I know these don't make great things for you, but I'm gonna put up the third edition art that we are talking about because it is a sight.
I will just say, I mean, I hate to yuck anybody's yums, but I feel like almost all the first edition art is like I drew it. But I get that it's like, there weren't a lot of resources in those days.
If I remember correctly, like they literally got anyone they could that could draw. Like I think some of it was done by someone's sister-in-law.
But sometimes they didn't though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, where you're like, give me a goat-headed a man with ram's horns and goat legs and bat wings and a long tail and make him a spooky boy. And she's like, all right, okay. So I mean, he does. The first edition Orcus looks like he should be wearing an Adidas tracksuit though, and like sitting in the front of a laundromat. Yeah.
I brought up the artwork for the viewers. It is interesting. I did just realize he has some extra jewelry I did not notice.
Oh yeah.
Wait, for first or third edition?
The third edition one.
Yeah, no, a lot's happening in that picture.
So much happening.
Nipple rings.
Like, yeah, man, he's got nipple rings.
What? People didn't say. You posted that picture, B-Dave, on Twitter. It's like, try to name anything in this image, and I feel like this is very close.
It's very close to the just, again, like, what's up with his face?
He's got little beads on the tips of his horns. He's like, he's going out.
He is bejeweled. Wait, are those, those are like, I was trying to figure out if he's got bedazzled wingtips, but no, I think those are
just his wings. But I also had this moment of, wait, does he have wing earrings?
Yeah, wearings. I don't know. Yeah,
he's got on his like good gauntlet and his fancy codpiece. He's going out.
No, like I feel like this picture of Orcus is telling us way more about the artist than it is about Orcus. Because I mean, this is definitely Thick Daddy Orcus. Like this is a very.
This is the picture he sends the Raven Queen with.
That's
the
picture
letter.
He sends the Raven Queen. Yeah. that's his felt cute. My delete later. That is so the picture, but because he actually looks like the 5th edition art. But that's the picture he sends the Raven Queen.
A similar vibe on the 2nd edition is like, let me present a self that I am not. This is like his Tinder thing. He's just like posing real casual. He's got a chessboard next to him. I'm gonna tell you something right now, and I don't care if there's canon that disagrees with me.
Yep.
There is no way in hell that Orcus plays chess.
He does not play chess. No.
That I mean, and this is where we get into that demon devil split. If you want a supreme evil who plays chess, go find yourself an archdevil. This is not a demon thing, and it shouldn't be. You're crossing the streams here.
Asmodeus
this is like, I am an intellectual, ladies.
Yeah, no, I brought it up. This is 100% like this is the Tinder profile pic.
No, yeah, but hold on a second. There is still like some assless chap action happening here because look at the straps around his thighs and stuff. You know what I mean? That is him being like I'm always the one that loves too much is what this picture says. No. I'm just focused on me now.
The chessboard is just to prove he's an intellectual.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's like I'm misunderstood.
Part of me. Okay, so this cannot be canon at all because they are bitter enemies. But part of me is like, this is what happens when Orcus asks Gratz to help him take a good Tinder photo.
Like somebody said in the chat, don't be knocking Tony's art. I'm not knocking the art. I genuinely love these. I would frame these.
No, you're 1,000% right that Gratz would take this picture and tell Orcus it looks fantastic. Yeah, 100% there.
Like, although put a chessboard in, ladies.
Exactly. He's all like. Again,
they don't play chess.
I can't make Gratz not broy anymore. He's all just like, bro, just like look like you're like chilling, bro. But we'll put like a chessboard in the back. Cause chicks dig dudes that like thinking stuff. No, yeah, no, flex your arms though. Like, all right, go. You're looking so vascular.
Put back behind your head. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Back behind your head. Yeah, exactly. Like, but your wings. Wait, like tilt them to the side so they'll be like even in the frame. Yeah, right. Like tilt them. No, but like kick your leg up, like whatever. Like you were just chilling and I just took a picture of you. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Maybe that's why they're bitter enemies. That Grant framed this Tinder photo and it didn't work on the Raven Queen.
Foolish Genius 89 in the chat said, "Bro, it worked for Tasha."
Yeah, like whatever, bro. Like, come on.
Oh my god.
What is this thing in the front of there? Because there's something that is like across his lap to the floor. Is that his tail?
I have no idea. Yeah, I
Wait,
think that's his tail.
Is that his tail?
Oh, I think you're right. I was gonna say it might be a different styled wand of Orcus, but it does seem to be. Oh no, it's coming out from between his.
No, yeah,
I mean, he's like, show him the wand, bro. You know what I mean? Like, show him the wand. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of the wand of Orcus, so actually let me backtrack a little bit. So like we said, like in the lore,
I have to close this. I have so many additional questions.
Okay.
Sorry, please proceed. Yes.
Okay. So we talked about like at one time he was immortal. The thing that I really did love is that it's like, so he died, went to the abyss, and became a larva, like a lot of bad evil spirits. And then it literally goes through step by step the process of the demons that he rose through to become a demon lord. Like this was like the Wolf of Wall Street, but for a demon lord.
Yeah, but for a demon lord, yeah.
Because there's literally like larva to Maine, Maine to Dretch, Dretch to Rudderkin.
I mean, did you see further down the wiki where they've got the 3rd edition art that I do really like, but it's in the article and it's got Orcus striking a pose? That's literally what it says. Like, I mean, even they know it's just Orcus voguing.
There's a better one in the middle where it's the 4th edition art from the Monster Manual, and it literally just describes it as Orcus stomping about.
I mean, but that is an accurate description of what's in that image, by the way. That is an accurate description.
So
Orcus striking a pose is great.
So Orcus worked his way all the way up to being a Baelor, which also Baelors are just cool. Like, it's got a very, why can't I think of the thing from Lord of the Rings? The
Balrog.
The Balrog, yeah. It's got a lot of Balrog vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the sword, it's got the whip. I mean,
it is a legally distinct Balrog. Yeah, 100%.
But during this, what I didn't know is that actually the sword, specifically the sword that Orcus wielded while he was a Baelor, became an artifact, which is spelled my favorite way because it's called the Orca sword, but it's called Orca sword.
It's like Orcus word.
Orcus sword. Do.
If any of y'all out there are familiar with the restaurant chain Soup Plantation, it's got the same spelling that irritates me. There should be 2 P's there. There's 1 P.
Yep. That's why they didn't last. That right there.
Yep. But yeah, so they had an artifact for that sword, but then it doesn't really give how he became a demon lord. It was just like, and then he was a demon lord.
Because reasons.
Because reasons. Yeah, we
Yep.
skipped that part of
I mean,
the
you
montage.
murder enough demons and they recognize strength.
Yep.
So
Then
you just have to worry about the Baylors getting ideas.
Mm.
'Cause they
Well,
saw
yeah,
you
but
do
because
it.
that is it's interesting because when we talked about the abyss and we talked about Asmodeus, the predatory political climate of the hells, where you have to like knock off the person above you. Apparently demons
But in a
function
way that
similarly.
doesn't look like you should
Right,
be the one that should be in trouble for it. Demons
Exactly.
are like, cool, bro.
You need plausible deniability. No, whereas demons is like, I ate that dude's face and now everything he had is mine. Yeah, you're like, because Orcus is maybe not the top demon, but he's way
Oh,
up
there's
there.
like that's
yeah.
the thing. There's like a whole
There's a whole
feud
thing
about it.
There,
Yeah.
yeah, so apparently Orcus wanted to be recognized as Prince of Demons, but that title was held by the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it
Not
was also,
interested
but
in
Gratz
co-princes.
also wanted the title. So like they
mean-
had this like standoff, like the
Oh, yeah,
Office
they
freaking
still-
gif.
I
All
mean-
three hate each other.
Well, yeah, and then there's Baphomet, Yenogu, Jubilex, Frauds, Erblu, Koshtiki, Malakath,
Well, there's a
and
lot.
Zugtmoy. Yep.
But those
Um,
three in particular are like, I'm the big dog on campus. It's me. And they all have various reasons. Like Gratz, I believe Azograt is still the largest, like, because it's a 3-layer kingdom that he has the largest territory.
Oh, so
I
you
mean,
got
yeah,
that.
obviously, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
But Demogorgon could womp them both, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I mean, if they
That's-
1v1, yeah, like Demogorgon would
Bang,
take them
bang,
in a straight up
bang.
fight but the problem, here's the thing about the Demogorgon, and I think we did talk about this in a previous episode. The only reason Demogorgon hasn't taken over basically all of reality is the Demogorgon's two heads hate each other.
Mhm.
So the Demogorgon actively works against
Oh.
itself all the time
See, now-
and still is this powerful.
See, now you put in my head, because, we just had Realmsmith did Champions of the Realms, where they
Mhm.
had people who appear in Idle Champions doing a 1v1 PvP. Now I'm just like, I want to do that show, but Demon Lords.
Yep.
Just get a bunch of villains from D&D.
Pale Knights
Yeah.
just
Yup.
standing in the background going,
Yep, and Asmodeus running a betting pool. Yeah, mhm. Yeah.
"It's
They're
like,
just
let
standing
this
on the
play
other
out."
side of the river of blood, like the monks in Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
The monks in
yeah,
Mortal
Honestly,
yeah.
this feels like a 9 Hells scheme. Like, let's get them all fighting each other
Yeah.
and take all of them out that way.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then we can roll in, and whoever's left, wounded and battered, is this the one we'll take out easily?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Also,
They
it would
just start
super work on the
sending
demons.
messages like, Gratz was saying stuff about you.
hmm It's like you send the Demogorgon, each of the heads different things. Like to help convince one of the heads that it's Gratz, and convince the other head it's Orcus. But then you send Gratz stuff that like both Orcus and the Demogorgon are like super into him, And then you send Orcus like the Raven Queen secretly has Gratz posters up on our walls because Gratz is very much her aesthetic. If we're calling a spade a spade, you look at Delatoth, you look at Grath. I mean, come on,
Mhm.
come on.
I feel like you pit the Demogorgon against each other. You just send them one Rock'em Sock'em robots that they can play themselves, and they just get mad at each other. Okay, so yeah, they wanted the title of Prince of Demons. Rivalry started. The thing that I thought was interesting, you were talking about the plane that, or the level of the abyss that Orcus rules. What was that? Thanatos.
Thanatos.
Which is the 113th level of the abyss.
Yep.
But going lower is good. Like
Yeah.
more lower is more eviler.
More.
You don't want to be in the suburbs of the hells. You want to be down in it. Yeah. hmm I mean
I love
the
that.
suburbs, but to say the suburbs of the hells. You know what? I was about to name a place, but I don't want to. It's not a safety. I don't know where people live. We all know where the outskirts of
Champ-
hell really is.
Champion Psychology already started an argument in chat yesterday about the Mariners, so we don't need that. So The thing that I didn't know, however, is that like once he became like Demon Prince and everything like that, he had kids. He had a lot of kids, like
Orcus has
lots
some
and
kids,
lots of
which-
kids.
Gonna just put it out there. I don't know whose type that is, but
Yeah.
actually, I know at least some of them are women from Narfail, which has it is an area sort of up north and east on the map of Faerun. They have a long tradition of being down with demons. The Nentiarch of Narfail was a very powerful demon binder. So any sufficiently ambitious Nar woman who I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's sexy in Narfail, but also, being like, what I would enjoy having a half demon lord child.
Yeah. Woo.
I mean,
hard
he's-
pass over here, but
I mean, he's ambitious, if nothing else,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine that it's like you're a tiefling and you were raised being told Orcus is your father or your grandfather, but like you don't even know? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You're like, I guess.
and then like you're a Nar tiefling. Your mom's like, one magical night I hooked up with Orcus, and you're like, yeah, and then you find out no, it was some tiefling peddler who came to town.
Yeah, 100%.
It was just a very large tiefling.
Yeah. Well, it was
And
Orcus,
she's like,
but
I
he
wanted
shape
to
changed.
make you, I wanted
Yeah.
to protect you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Would that even be good or bad? Because if you're like, I'm Orcus's kid, I feel like, again, Gratz and everyone else would be like, kill that one in particular, So I don't know. It's like, I feel like it would like really help you to a certain point, and then when the word spread to the wrong people, would really not help you.
Mm-hmm.
I will say a lot of this has some, I mean, stuff I'm not down for.
Yeah, no, it
which,
has
like,
not-
Oh, they had the child and then they sacrificed her.
Yeah, it has not great stuff in it, and with that is again the era that this was written in. Yeah, it pretty much seems like every time Orcus had a kid, they were like, okay, cool, sacrificing the mom. That's not great. That's not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think the Orcus in the rom-com, he's the revived one. He's coming back. He's changed. That's how I got
He's
it
like,
in my head.
Do you know that all of my ex-girlfriends, their people sacrificed them? I
Yeah,
don't want to get involved
Weird.
with that again. I need
Yeah.
an equal.
Orcus like, I thought they were all
And the
leaving
Raven
me.
Queen's like, and you're talking to me.
Yep.
Recalibrate, buddy.
Yes. Need some time to figure out what the heck you are.
I will just say, of his many names, Lord of Undeath, Prince of Undeath, Blood Lord, Lord of Specters, Master of Vampires, the Goathorn Demon. My favorite, though, the Shadow That Was. That's a cool name.
Ooh.
That's a cool name. That's I'm like,
I will give him
okay,
that.
that's all right.
That's how he signs his messages to the Raven.
That's a good metal album.
That is a super good metal album.
Yeah.
It just I don't know if he put that under the 4th edition Toothy picture, under the 2nd edition Kickback picture of the Shadow That Was,
No,
but
no.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
finally when
That's a good
Gratz and
question.
Demogorgon and all them put their troubles aside and they start a metal band that are called the Princes of the Abyss. And
Yeah.
their first album
That's
is The
their
Shadow
album.
That Was.
But it sells like 100 million albums, and then they break up, and they're like Oasis. They can't even like be on stage together. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody thought they were the star. 100%. Yeah.
Actually, you know what's really funny about that? When I did start reading this wiki, it in my head sounded like one of those VH1 behind the music narrators. So I feel like that tracks.
Yeah. That Orcus cares about nothing but himself and only spreading misery and evil.
Mhm.
And neighbor, if that's not half the people I've met in the music business, I don't know what is. So, yeah.
So lot of stuff happened from there, but one of the things that I wanted to touch on was Gareth Dragonsbane, because his name does come up a couple times as someone who him and the adventuring party he was with did succeed in stopping Orcus long time ago. It says Gareth Dragonsbane and his company banished Orcus's power from the realm by stealing his wand, and that essentially what happened here is they found out from Gratz, because of course it's Gratz. Gratz is of course going to tell them how
Yeah,
to destroy
of course.
the wand.
Why
Come
wouldn't
on.
I tell him? Yeah, of course. Yeah,
no.
hate that guy.
Yeah, give me a couple of Pabst Blue ribbons and give him some info.
And then, like some IPA, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
that
he's an
chick's
IPA
phone
guy.
number.
He's an IPA.
Oh,
guy.
Gratz is of course an IPA
100%
guy.
IPA.
Gratz is 1,000% an IPA guy.
Oh.
Again, he wears those leather pants of his own free will.
But essentially told Gareth that the only way to destroy the wand of Orcus was by submerging it in the black blood of Tiamat's heart. Again, super metal.
That's super metal. That is super metal. Although one of the things about Tiamat is she can eat and just eradicate anything. You know what I mean? So theoretically, she should have been able to nom the wand and get rid of it.
Well, they were like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, kill Tiamat? So they went after an avatar of Tiamat. Okay, smart move. And apparently it still worked. Got the heart, got the blood, submerged it, and it was destroyed. But then in true Gratz fashion, he was like, by the way, that thing's totally coming back in 100 years. I didn't tell you that before, but good job.
I mean, did I not mention that, bro? Like, whatever. I just thought that was obvious. Like, you'll be dead in 100 years because you're immortal. So,
it's
like,
not
whatever.
your problem. That's your kid's problem.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, that sounds familiar. But the power of the wand after the blood was drained and everything was like left in this like little white stone. And my favorite thing about this is that Gareth was like, what should I do with the stone that was left over from this totally evil necromancer wand? Plant it in my hometown.
so we can keep an eye on it.
Hubris.
Yeah.
Granted,
Right.
it worked out because it grew into like this giant white tree with gold leaves, and apparently, I guess it was called Bloodstone. Is that the town? I think that's what it was.
So.
And apparently, demons just couldn't enter it because of the tree, which is cool. Except then the wand came back, and that's probably not great for them.
Worst harvest ever.
Worst harvest ever.
Or the best, like your golden tree, just like what looks like a spinal column with a head on it, just kind of pops out the side of the tree. You're like, boo, is anybody gonna?
Hey, gardeners, was this here yesterday?
Yeah.
No? Oh, okay. That's probably not
Well,
good.
another thing I love, like in the art, the portrayals of the Wand of Orcus vary so much that
Yeah.
sometimes it's like a person-sized skull and head, which would be a wand to him, but sometimes it's like a his-sized skull and head, and I'm like, who the hell's skull is that? Like, who just had this cinder
The
block
last
dome?
guy who asked that question.
Valid.
Well, I couldn't find it in the wiki, but I could have sworn that there was something that like there was at one point lore about whose skull and spine it was. Was that a thing? Or did I make that up? I might have made that up.
That feels ripe for somebody saying it though.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me. Let me look.
I did see
also-
someone ask that in the chat earlier, and someone
It
responded with it's
also
Greg.
just feels like the type of thing that Orcus would make up on the spot just to sound like more metal than he is.
That is true.
Yeah,
this skull is totally like, some evil, good dude.
Yeah.
Total good dude.
Oh,
yeah,
this-
no,
oh,
it was a
P-Dad, you're
demon.
gonna
It was
love
another
this.
demon that I just didn't like. Yeah.
It may not actually. It may not actually have been Gratz. It may have been Bahamut that told them that about the Wand
really?
of Orcus, according to this particular
Okay.
page. And it's been I'm not even gonna say how long since I've seen any of that stuff, but it says Bahamut directed them to the only method of its destruction, which was to immerse the wand in the black blood of Tiamat's heart. They used
That just
Tiamat's avatar, which is
conveniently
disinfective.
required killing his sister. Just like, is that all? Is
The
that all it
Bahamut,
took, Bahamut?
I don't make the rules; they're just there, and I observe them very carefully.
I like the idea though that like Bahamut went up to this dude named Gareth Dragonsbane and was like, okay, but you mean like chromatic dragons, right? Like whose dragons are you the
I mean,
bane
again,
of?
Early.
this does seem very convenient that he's like, hey, Dragon's Bane, you can go and kill the ultimate evil dragon that just happens to be my sister that I don't get along with. Whatever, but it will help you destroy the wand temporarily. See, that's Bahamut. See? Okay, here, listen to me, y'all. This proves my point. Because see how we all were just like, Grant's is such an asshole that he didn't tell him the truth. But now it's Bahamut. You're like, oh, it's okay. No, it isn't.
I am curious because again, it's been a while since I've looked at this at all. But I am curious if Bahamut's admitting it's going to come back in a century is due to them choosing an avatar of Tiamat instead of actual Tiamat, or if he's like, also, I forgot to mention, this is only good for a century. Because I could see it being him being like, oh, you did an avatar. Cool. I guess that is more in your skill set. That's temporary. But then that's on Bahamut for like saying, hey, murder my sister in actuality, tiny mortal.
I do just appreciate...
I'm sure your last name will protect you.
I do just appreciate the smash cut to Tiamat being like, the hell, man? What do you mean? It's my avatar. Like, what? You know? So for the record, real quick, the skull is the skull of a human hero once slain by Orcus. But I feel like, I mean, obviously the lore is the lore, but I feel like that needs a little more because that's like an extra special FU that I'm going to make you personally the conduit of my power. Yeah.
And I'm never going to tell anybody your name. I mean, that's the other piece of that.
I now remember why I thought it was named. Co-host of Difficulty Class, my sister-in-law, Allie, for her game, she had Orcas show up. And her party needed to go get the Wand of Orcus. Well, it turned out that this was the second iteration of the Wand of Orcus, which he made out of the skull and spine of Gareth Dragonsbane. And
I mean, that's cool. Apropos. Yeah.
I just remember that. I'm like, Allie, that was good. That was a good one, Allie.
I mean, if it was going to be anybody.
Right?
You know? Yeah.
Right?
Just for the record, the Gareth Dragonsbane art is incredible, too. It is very second edition.
I haven't seen that. Also,
very second
Catch 23 in the chat said that he got the Dragonsbane name for killing Tiamat.
First of all, an avatar. I mean, I'm like, slow down. Put it back in your pants. An avatar. Tiamat. The first thing.
But you are right. Art, it's already out.
Yeah. This artwork, he looks like a background fighter for He-Man. Like
he does. He does. I mean, he bears a striking resemblance to the cover of the original Player's Handbook, honestly. Yeah. Like, I mean, that sort of nameless fighter that is coming your way. Yeah.
In short tunic with no pants on.
I mean, you got to let him breathe. You know? Gets hot fighting dragons.
Fashions come and go.
It's true. Oh, Foolish Genius 89.
Iconic.
Foolish Genius 89 says Baloth has version 3 then? I'm just, yeah, it's the skull.
Baloth might be version 4. That's the thing, yeah.
Version 3 is the skull and spine of Alabaster Booty Clap. It's canon.
Watching Mark try to say Alabaster Booty Clap. It was quite funny.
Jeez. Okay.
If I contribute nothing else to this world, I gave you that.
There you go. I still love that was just completely off the cuff. We did not know that was coming, and it almost killed B Dave and I. I do want to say that one of my favorite things about just the wiki articles in general, and it really came up a lot in this one, is how many times when there's lore of characters like this, where it's just like, and then an adventuring party. I always love that because that's an adventure. That was some player characters. I love that it's always just an adventuring party.
Could have been anybody.
Yeah, we don't know. Let's see. Where was the thing that I left off on? Oh yeah, so Orcus got resurrected after his defeat, and reclaimed everything. So it's just basically like, I just had to wait a little while. It's not that bad. It doesn't get. It's interesting because it's like not until here that it starts getting into Orcus and liches, because Orcus can make liches, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the Lord of Undeath. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is an excellent. If you are looking to become a lich, he is an excellent resource for that. With an asterisk.
Well, especially when his whole thing is like, I will be the last thing that exists, and yet let me offer you some immortality. Somewhere along the way, you got to be like, wait a second.
Wait.
Amazing.
Maybe he's a narcissist and he just assumes all liches are actually extensions of his own ego and self. Or maybe he's gonna murder them all. It's one or the other.
Again, yeah. eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like I will be the last thing. So, but I mean, eventually we're gonna get down to like 22 things, and I'm gonna help. My liches are gonna help me kill Grotst and the Demogorgon because they're going to the end too. Actually, I don't even know if Orcus would have the three-dimensional thinking to be like, hey, Grotst and Demogorgon, let's finally take Asmodeus, because that's, you know, that's a long day. And then I'm gonna betray and backstab you, as you think you're gonna betray and backstab me, but I know I'm gonna betray and backstab you. But no, they're demons. They're just like nom 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 nom.
That's the balance of the Blood War, is that demons have the numbers, but the devils have the tactics. So the idea of them making that plan, I feel like it falls apart very quickly on I feel like if you drew a committee of like Gratz, Demogorgon, and Orcus, it would fall apart when they tried to name their team.
True. They're all like, so we're the Gratz squad and the losers, right? You know what I mean? You're like, even like
they don't have some extremely intelligent and funny person to go, why don't we just call it I don't know, demons and dragons and shit.
We're like, that didn't make any sense. We didn't even have any dragons. What's wrong with you, bro? Yeah.
Tiamat's in there like, I'm right here.
I'm right here. I missed who it was, but I saw briefly in the chat an exchange that nearly killed me while y'all were talking. Somebody said something about Orcas starting a game show, and then someone said, and every episode would end with a hoedown. As someone who loves Whose Line Is It Anyways, that sounds like my eternal hell. So well done on that. Before we check in with chat to see what they've been asking during the episode, any last thoughts or things that we want to put into the ether for Orcas?
You know, I don't necessarily know why we heap such rampant disrespect on Orcus. I myself am responsible for a lot of it.
We've built him up. We got to knock him down a bit. We got to keep him right there.
I feel like we're all coming at this with like from a different angle of wanting to dunk on Orcus. Yeah. Like, I got my babies in the 9 hells. I'm like, no, Demon Lord stock.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, but what's funny is like he's been all over the place, and like I said, he has very nearly won, or actually won like a lot. But you know, this time
he was a god briefly.
Yeah,
like full.
That's gotta be the worst when you get it and then lose it. You're like, bro. Yeah, bro. Although there's a there is like a prayer in here. Bloated goat prince of undeath, master of vampires and lord of specters, Orcus, grant me your crushing might and the deadly power of your skull-headed wand. That's still pretty metal though.
I wonder if this is why Orcus lost to godhood. It's not because something happened, it's because he went bloated. That's how you're gonna start asking me for, you know what? Screw all of you.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So, Lurking Rider told me in the chat that apparently Lauren started it with "Whose spine is it anyways?" That's so good. That's so good.
I feel like or Kira Eldrex has to say that to Baloth here. It's yeah. Again, because you're right. In the 4th edition, he's all carved up, and I mean, again, even like 5th edition, he's not bloated. I mean, he looks like he's got like a power lifter. He's got the strong guy gut. No, he looks like he played football in high school.
Like the Thor from the new God of War game that's coming out. Yeah, he's built.
And that's like, I mean, that's like a thing too for those like strongmen. Like, you need that padding, or your muscles will like.
I would take this. I'd take this over what I got right now. I take the scars and everything too. That's not bad. That's tough.
Yeah, no, that's a guy. He benches, he squats, he deadlifts, but he also drinks a lot of beer. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Orcus would drink a lot of beer, but not IPAs. He would be against IPAs purely because of Gratz. See what we do for the lore on this show? We're just helping you out at your table.
Sure. I feel like this is a true story. So I hate IPA, as I maintain. No one actually enjoys IPA. No one actually likes IPA. Like whatever. But anytime you have to come up with a euphemism for bitterness, you've already gone the wrong way. But I made a point. when I was out with a buddy of mine that owned like IPA. So he thought it was going to be funny to just keep buying round after round after round of IPAs, which if you know me, I can't turn down free alcohol. What even is that? You know what I mean? Like, so I had this paradox of free beer that was disgusting beer. I feel like that's what Orcus would do with Gratz. He would drink a lot of IPA just out of spite. You know, just so you can't have it. But I don't like it either. And thus the war continues.
Chamber X77 added to the dunking with this. Orcus drinks Zima secretly.
Orcus has all the Zima that's left. That's why there's not any. You know what I mean? That's why the Raven Queen won't go out with him. She found out. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing his thing, and she's kind of like, okay, wait, what is that Zima? No. Summon the Shadowkai. Get out there. No, get Shadowkai to the front.
I'm just holding it for Vecna.
I'm just holding it for
Vecna's just like, fine, then it's war. You know? Yeah, right. That's it. I just love that ultimately all of the conflict in D&D just comes down to personal pettiness. That everybody's like, I'm literally the best, from Xanathar all the way up to Orcus, honestly, all the way to Bahamut. I mean, because Bahamut's a douche. So,
You said it here. You heard it here first. Folks.
Just saying. At least Tiamat's honest. That's all I have to say.
So let's get a few questions in here before we got head out. Foolish Genius 89 question: any lore on Calorel the Vile? He is a big face of Orcus in 4E. I don't know a lot about him, but I do remember Chris Perkins playing him in one of the Petty Arcade games at the very beginning and going Calorel, and then Mike Rahulik going, oh, Carl. So that's about as much lore as I have about Calorel.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, they had him in a few adventures, I think, as like the leader of the cult of Orcus. But yeah, I just remember my crew calling him Carl.
We did skip over some of his well-known adherents, lieutenants, and stuff like that. Zengi the Lich King and Qus the Worm that Walks.
Oh, I'm intimately familiar with the worm that walks.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's very gross.
Yeah.
It's a 30-foot tall giant composed of a shifting mass of maggots and worms, filled with the psychic imprint of a former demigod.
I'm not kidding. I fought that dude last night in Elden Ring. Rex Verdi says, question, is Orcus's boombox powered by soul coins? If the song stops, does he have to rummage in his pockets for a few quarters? It is now.
I mean, yeah, it's like the souls of the people singing the legally distinct In Your Eyes are what's going through there. And he just sort of just like bangs on the side of it every once in a while.
Cassius 335, Orcus, I have the greatest mixtape of all time. Raven Queen, I have a Havilar. Fool's Genius, we answered what we think of who the Skull and Spine is. Lauren was commenting on the third edition art. Also, those legs have like extra double backwards. He has like 4 knees.
It's just like that. Yeah, I don't even know what was happening in that. And my favorite thing is that went through like multiple rounds of approvals that everybody was like, no, this all seems legit. Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if some of those rounds are like, could you add more knees? Teeth.
I just
more
feel
teeth
like
and knees.
I feel like more knees would make it more terrifying. You know what I mean?
And at some point, the artist's like, "Fine, you're getting all of them."
Yeah, I'll put knees on the wings.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, also he needs a tail, but his tail doesn't have to attach right, and neither do his wings. If you think about it, it's fine. Just make him a demon lord.
Reaver01, was Orcus promoted, or did he just do stuff and gained enough experience to evolve like a Pokemon? That's literally what I thought while I was reading and then this to this. Because when he turned into a Baylor, did somebody just get a call and they showed up like, all right, here's your fire whip, here's your sword, have a nice day. you know.
Honestly, not 100% sure.
Yeah, I
how
think
advancement
on the
in Abyss
demon
works.
on the demon side of things, you got to take it. On the devil side, it is given and appointed. On the demon side, you take it.
Yeah. Like you earn it in the hells. Like you
Oh.
do something and then the archdevil ahead of you, or sometimes, just the person, once, unique devils have enough power, they can trigger promotion. Mostly it's the archdevils. It's the lords go, you've done well. You are no longer an imp. You're now an Irenes or whatever. That's a big jump, but I did that one. But I think it's just the energy of the abyss just infuses you and you change.
Just as a Super Saiyan. Cassie's 335 question: is there a wand of Orcas, and has anyone ever gone after that one by mistake? Cassie's,
that'd be amazing.
Go look up the first. I think it was the first live show for the Penny Arcade games, because they do an animated recap of the podcast games, and there's a good joke like that in there. Let's see. Any other good ones before we gotta head out? This is Jamiek Unyielding. Question: any opinions on the Magic the Gathering card representing Orcas? Not sure if any of you play that much. I do. We actually opened packs on this show when that set was coming out, and I got Orcas.
Oh, so you have an opinion.
I did.
Versus me, who's Googling Magic the Gathering Orcas.
Do I have it in here? Oh, hey! Look at this. It was literally right next to me.
That's the art
that's the art.
That's the good art.
Yeah, that's the art that we were actually talking about. That's on the wiki. I think it's cool. I think it's really neat. I like the fact that it's a legendary creature and I can make a commander deck with Orcus. That's badass. I kind of want to do that now. Just make a whole zombie demon deck. But then also find ways to still dunk on Orcus while making the deck. Like find the Zima equivalent spell.
Wow. Zima. Jeez.
When's the last time you heard Zima? I
could not tell you.
You know, the last time I drank one. Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. I appreciate a not insignificant portion of the audience is like, what's a Zima? And we're like, yeah.
So many people Googled Zima today.
Yeah, but then they spelled it wrong. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rex Verde question: are general titles in Nine Hells effectively title belts in wrestling? Each one is the champ of their territory. Does that make the Demogorgon tag team champs? Well, you gotta remember, Nine Hells, that one's different from the Abyss.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta earn your place with the approval of the people ahead of you. Yeah. Nine Hells is a corporation. The Abyss is a free for all.
Oh my god, it totally is.
Oh yeah.
The Demogorgon tag team champions is incredible, because the Demogorgon is the tag team champions. Like when the superpowers were the tag team champions, it's like Hogan and Macho though. Yeah. Because the Demogorgon's heads are Hogan and Macho.
They 1,000% are.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dig it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. Like I just imagine they're just like in the abyss cutting promos on people, but then arguing with each other. You know what I mean? Especially those like really nonsensical Macho Man promos. Yeah. when like it would kick in and you see it kick in and he's like, Grits, let me tell you, brother. And the other one's like just nodding, but no one's there but the two of them. Yeah. Right.
I need to Photoshop the Demogorgon, and one of them's got Macho's glasses on, the other one's got the
Hogan's bandana.
Just imagine the terror of just off in the distance you hear, oh yeah, and brother at the same time coming at you.
It's true. What you gonna do when the Demogorgon runs wild on you? And the other head's like, what'd you just say? You know what I mean? And then beef. Yeah.
Like it.
I gotta end this show because I literally can't anymore.
Yep.
I think that's where we're gonna stop this week. Where can people find you, friends, if they'd like to do so?
You can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can watch me at 6:30 p.m. Pacific today, Wednesday, on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers, which is an actual play. Dungeon Scrawlers is an actual play with a bunch of fantasy writers. And today and next week, and then alternating in the future, I'm gonna DM.
Yeah!
Yay!
We'll see how it goes. So nervous, guys. But I think it'll be fun. And you can listen to our podcast, Writing About Dragons and shit, wherever you download great podcasts. That's with me and B-Dave and Trevor. And then on Monday, come to Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen, where I play with Rita, and hopefully we're going to save Havilar eventually.
Hopefully. That makes me so scared.
Or, die in an avalanche.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
you tried to
There was a
scry on
moment there where I
Havilar,
was
and
like,
all you saw was darkness and screaming. So yeah.
that avalanche, man, I really thought that might be, I was like, maybe, do I get paid if my character dies?
Look, is this it? Is this the end? Yeah, right. You know?
He did warn me.
As voted on by the players of Idle Champions.
Which, by the way, you can do a new vote in 4 minutes. But before that,
Hey.
B-Dave, who are you?
B-Dave Walters. I say words about things. You can find me wherever fine streaming content can be located, and also on the televisions on G4, Invitation to Party, playing D&D, and always taking on new projects to have an excuse to spend more time with Erin M. There you go. Also, shout out to Treavor, who is very much there in spirit, actually tanking for us as a mod on Court of the
Yes.
Raven Queen. You're doing the Lord's work.
Me and the rest of the mods. Yeah, we're tanking that one. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the Trevor. There is an A hiding in there. You can also find me anywhere the Idle Champions community is, because I'm community manager and I need to be there, so I'm there. Thank you to Martin for modding in the chat and doing a fantastic job. I hope your chocolate milkshake and hash brown was good. Thank you to Codename Entertainment for letting us have some fun and talk about some D&D. If you missed any part of this show, you can catch it later as a podcast on your favorite podcast service. And remember, you can rate on there now, including Spotify. You can leave 5 stars on there. The other stars don't work. Don't even try. It's only 5 stars.
Yeah. Why would you?
So just to give you a heads up. For those of us that are live right now with us, let's see, what do we got? We got Mars' Guiding Hand later today at 1. Sketching Hour is postponed today. That'll be back next week though. But the rest of the shows, as of right now, for the rest of the week are on. So be sure to catch all of those. But that is going to do it for this week's episode. And so until next week, Champions out.